Hey everyone, ISO Toilet is here. Episode 67 has finally been finished, since we haven't heard any hints about the fifth part from the creator, and I finally did an analysis of the last part for you. I had some problems that made it very difficult for me to make a video, but better late than never. I also looked at all the other analysis of the episode and realized that guys missed a lot of details that I want to tell you about now because that's what I am really good at. By the way, my theory that there are a lot of G-Man clones turned out to be true, as well as many other things I've talked about before. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and as usual, get your tea and snacks ready. Let's go! Part 4 begins when Titan TV Man uses his laser to destroy the scientist's puppet. But there are a few differences. I think you'll notice that too. The Titans get up from the ground, and we realize that they are alive and still fine. I'm very thankful to Dafuq that all the Titans were able to survive after this battle, because that would have been very tragic. Just like at the end of the third part, the TV Titan says, "That's all." But actually nothing is over. It's just beginning because we're clearly moving into a new stage of the Skibidi Toilet series. Titan TV Man gives Cameraman a new protection from TV, most likely to not damage him during the battle. For me, I was wondering how he had such a protection, especially on the huge Titan Cameraman's camera. But as you remember, TV Titan teleported after Skibidi Scientist ripped off Cameraman's protection. I think before that, TV Titan was able to teleport to the Cameraman base and take this for his friend. I did a video about Titan Speakerman a little earlier, and I had questions about TV Titan's attitude towards him. I didn't know if he'd hold a grudge against Speakerman for getting badly injured in episode 47. But as we can see, everything is okay. TV Man just wagged his finger in front of Speakerman in a friendly way and said, "No stabbing." TV Titan looks really very wise indeed, and I'm really happy that the Titans didn't clash with each other. Notice how small Cameraman and Speakerman look compared to TV Man Titan. So I have a very important detail that I talk about in the last video. In earlier episodes, we saw the Titan Speakerman has a neck, but now we can definitely know that he's a robot. Dafuq has now chosen one position and started to show that all agents are mechanized, although there are still some questions about this guy, but we'll get back to him later. But for now, let's talk about G-Man clones. I mentioned that all the improved G-Men we've seen are different from each other, and they're most likely not the real ones. The original G-Man was in a toilet like this, and all the upgraded guys looked really weird. I talked about it in detail in this video. I hope you'll watch it when you're done with it. Now we know for sure that the real G-Man hasn't been in combat since episode 35, because the upgraded clones have been appearing instead. These guys are most likely being run by someone from the inside, like it was in episode 65. They also all have upgraded jetpacks like this London Skibidi. I'm pretty sure these are new clones, and we haven't seen them in past episodes of Skibidi Toilet yet. That Jimmy right there reminds me of a troll leak, by the way. Maybe the other lasers just didn't get installed in time. And this guy's rocket launchers I think I've seen somewhere before. Now that looks much more effective compared to the regular Skibidi helicopter. By the way, such a Skibidi toilet with circular saws already appeared in this episode and was destroyed by the Cameraman Titan. It was his mechanical arm that Titan took himself for a while, and it almost became a fatal mistake for him. Note that the rocket launchers of the regular Skibidi helicopters have similarly become improved. We don't see them in action, but they are clearly wider now. This is also the huge cistern where we saw the secret agent appear at the very beginning of the episode. Dafuq has posted the full version of episode 67, and now we see that there are two silhouettes, although there was only one before. I have two options. Either it's someone from this show helping the creator, or we finally got to see the original Male 07 and Male 09 in this universe. There is also a video about them on my channel. I hope you watched it. The improved Titan TV Man immediately rushes into battle with fake G-Men, and I have no doubt that he will defeat them. The tired Titan Speakerman is like, "Okay, let's go fight," and goes to help his improved friend along with the Cameraman. Please note that the Titan TV turbine now releases a purple flame, although it used to be the usual yellow. I think all his abilities have been improved by the energy of his core, and have now become much stronger. Look at how the Titan Cameraman stepped aside before the turbine began to prepare. By the way, this is not a jetpack, and it is unlikely that the TV Titan can fly with its help. But he doesn't need it, because he can teleport, and the turbine is only needed to break into battle. His sword is also charged with core energy, and the POV camera starts to glitch when he's around. I think there is some kind of stone or crystal that emits this energy, and the scientist just learned how to charge the core of the Titans with it and use it as a weapon. But what happened after that surprised me as hell. POV cameraman hears an alert sound and a green screen with Dafuq's face appears right in front of him. We have already seen how a secret agent created inscriptions on screens or sent fake messages to agents on a tablet. But what happened in this episode is just crazy if you ask me. The camera started glitching during this message as if someone interfered with its work, and it's very cool that Boom can control what the cameramen see. There is also an inscription, "Look to the left," which is accompanied by a voice. I do not know if it is the voice of Dafuq or not. This is the first time we have seen such interference. It looks like the creator has completely changed the course of the series and moved it in a different direction. I mean, POV would just be watching the Titans fighting if it wasn't for this warning. But now he noticed a real Skibidi Scientist and everything has changed a lot. Firstly, it is very interesting that a real scientist has been inside a puppet all this time. I was sure that this thing was controlled remotely because it decided to fight the Titan TV man without having a chance. Most likely, the real Skibidi Scientist was in the safest place of this robot. Perhaps here. At the bottom of this toilet, there were very thick armored plates, and no one tried to attack the Skibidi in the toilet. Usually, to destroy a Skibidi, it was necessary to attack his head. So it is very reasonable to hide in the lowest part of this invention. I also heard the version that after the laser attack, we saw a real Skibidi Scientist who fell after the explosion here. But I very much doubt that this is true. Otherwise, how did he stay alive? Titan Cameraman cut this place with a circular saw. The powerful laser of TV Titan burned through everything here. It's just impossible. Even if the Skibidi Scientist was there, he should have been injured or battered, at least as it was with G-Toilet in episode 57. But we see that he is completely unharmed, so most likely here we saw just some electronic parts. Nothing more. The Skibidi Scientist looks completely different compared to his version of episode 30. First, he made himself robotic legs and claws. Secondly, now he has a jetpack, and even some kind of laser cannon on his back. The Skibidi Scientist's toilet looks a little bigger than it was, but maybe because it's just heavily armored. In front of it, there is a thick plate with spikes and some kind of control panel. Perhaps with its help, he controlled a huge fake version of himself until Titan destroyed it. The scientist looks like he's going to hide somewhere and check so that no one notices him. But the POV cameraman turned up here and Daddy had to eliminate this witness. Thanks to Dafuq, our cameraman was not injured and was able to chase the scientist and find the Skibidi toilet's base. Notice how fast he reacts and shoots the laser right into the POV. After that, he easily dodges the rocket shots and he clearly does not look tired after the battle with the Titans. This black thing, by the way, is most likely a big speaker on the scientist's chest, and here we see a holder for his TV. Okay, instead of watching the Titans fight against the G-Man clones, we're flying straight to the Skibidi toilet base. The big POV cameraman is showing how brave he is for the second time and risking his life so that the Alliance can see the Skibidi base. What a Chad. Fortunately, the second time he is lucky and he remains intact, although I think it was not without the help of Dafuq and this big speaker man. By the way, we saw him back in episode 62, where he first meets a huge Skibidi Scientist. He was able to get out of this battle alive and destroy the Skibidi mutant at the end of episode 63. Blood was badly injured, and it is unclear to me whether he is a living creature or a robot because he has blood along with electric sparks. But okay. We even saw him in episode 66, where he heroically went into battle during the attack on Skibidi's base. And now this guy has decided to help the agents infiltrate the Skibidi toilet's base. I'm really proud of him. There's some sort of door control panel next to the bunker door and a red writing on top. I didn't manage to read what it says, unfortunately, but the bunker door still managed to open. Also right here we see green sparks, which means that Dafuq may have interfered here and helped keep the door open for a while. But I noticed a lot of strange things in this scene. Let me tell you all of them in order. First of all, before the POV cameramen started chasing Skibidi Scientist, this whole road was empty. But after a few seconds, a mob of agents were already running down it, trying to break into Skibidi Toilet's base. But okay, maybe they were somewhere nearby in shelters while the Titans were fighting, that's possible. But why was this cameraman already on the base? We know for a fact that this bunker belongs to Skibidi Toilets. And if Bro was here, he's probably a traitor. But there's another possibility, and I'll tell you about it. What if he was somewhere nearby and ran into the base just after Speakerman started lifting the door? Maybe even this exact agent is working with Dafuq and we saw him during that green glow. I thought of that for a reason. Notice he's standing right next to that broken door control panel. What if he got the task from the creator and broke the remote with a special device? As soon as he pressed something behind his back, the green glow stopped, and Speakerman couldn't hold the door any longer. But apparently the Plungerman wasn't part of this guy's plans, and he wasn't supposed to get into this bunker. But the big Speakerman decided otherwise, and held the door with all his might. He even sacrificed himself to give Plungerman a chance to get into the bunker. Press F to pay respect for that Speakerman. He is a true legend. But there's one big problem with that theory that Cameraman was on important missions with Plungerman. It's unlikely he just didn't notice his battlemate. He probably turned off the device that held the door and created that green glow for a reason. Maybe this agent is just jealous of Plungerman and that's why he decided to leave him outside. Remember when Plungerman shot him in the face with the plunger and showed him that bad gesture afterwards? Maybe Cameraman took offense to it. Who knows? But there is also the possibility that he is a traitor. Because in episode 65, Skibidi Cop didn't attack him and just flew away. Also, there is another cameraman who is dressed the same way but has a black camera. We saw him next to Plungerman in episode 43. I can't know exactly which one of them was the POV in episode 65, but it's weird that he survived such an explosion. Also, he has something behind his back. Maybe it's a hypno-gun, I don't know. He already used it in episode 57, and it's probably the main weapon for this guy. Also, in the distance, we see that Goofy G-Man is still fighting the Titans, and it's pretty weird. I thought TV Man Titan would take these guys down real quick, but apparently things didn't go according to plan. Unfortunately, we won't find out what happened there, but now we have a more interesting plot related to the Skibidi toilet base. Let's talk in detail about the agents who stand out from the rest. This Speakerman was in episode 24. We can remember him by his interesting tie. We also saw him with the squad that broke into the Skibidi hangar. Now he's going to be with us inside this Skibidi bunker. And it's pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Instead of a regular knife, he has a baseball bat and barbed wire hanging behind his back, and it's most likely a reference to a popular character. Pause the video right now and try to guess who I'm talking about. Well, I'll tell you, it's probably Negan from the Walking Dead series. His weapon was exactly the same, and also it's one of my favorite characters on that show, to be honest, so I'm very excited. Also, Black Speakerman flies into the bunker on his jetpack, and if you remember, he was at the TV Man base at the end of the last episode. This confirms to us that TV Man is probably not a traitor, or they hasn't shown themselves in this way yet. Most likely all the agents that were at their base are safe, and probably they're somewhere around now. There is a chance that TV Man will teleport to this base in new episodes to help the Alliance clean it up. Who knows? Also here we see these two guys in similar green suits. Pay attention to them. I think Dafuq showed them to us for a reason, and I have some theories about who they might be. There's Speakerman with a red tie and a knife taped to his hand, or what the hell is that? And the most famous character of them all is the Plungerman. He's the last one to run because he was badly injured by the Skibidi Scientist laser, but he survived. I'm very glad Bro will be with us on this base, thanks to Big Speakerman and Press F. His coat is torn in some places, and we can see robotic legs and arms. I have a very important question. Where did this guy get his plunger from? Most likely the twins in the green suits are the medics who rebuilt Plungerman. But that's weird, because we've seen that the Alliance has special agents who look different. Maybe Blood just found the plunger and decided to give it to its owner to earn some respect. But the most important thing is that this is the first time in the entire episode that we see this big POV cameraman's shirt, and it's blue. We've never seen big agents wearing this, so keep that in mind. I think it will help us understand the new episodes better. And what about the Skibidi base? I think it's a very cool location to continue the series. Yes, we've seen enough epic Titans battles in the open areas, but I'm sure things will be more epic in the future. This atmosphere reminds me of cool computer games where we will see a lot of epic first-person moments, I'm not gonna lie. Here we see the Skibidi Toilets flag where it says, Skibidi Skibidi in Greek letters. This flag reminds me a little bit of the Georgia flag, and it's funny because some sources say that Boom is from Georgia too. But also the fourth part of the episode has been re-uploaded because of the copyright of the music. And originally the flag in the bunker looked a bit different. It looked like the flag of a bad country that has been doing terrible things since 1939, if you know what I'm talking about. Perhaps Boom changed it because YouTube hardly approves of such signs in our videos. Skibidi Scientists flew deep into the base to the left, and I think the agents will be chasing him in future episodes. Also, episode 69 is getting closer and closer, and I hope we see him in this bunker, and of course the female trio must teleport here the same way. Let's get 400,000 subscribers before episode 69 comes out. I also have a lot of interesting videos on my channel, and you'll definitely be interested in watching them if you haven't already. And that was me, IsoToilet. See ya!